Oh, man. Good morning, guys. Let my eyes focus here. Let me turn this light on. That's a little better. My hair's goofy. Put me a hat on here. Truck's dinging at me. Yeah. Good morning. I need coffee. Man, do I need coffee right now. I think it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I heard my alarm go off a little bit ago, 5 a.m. Had to shut it off. I laid here for a little bit longer. But, yeah. I stayed in the truck last night. I didn't even bother leaving. It took me a while to get the trailer tandem slid, but I finally got it. My arm, I guess the bump is not as bad now. I mean, it's still nice little bump up on my arm right there. I mean, some of that's muscle. Here's my other arm, see? So, I don't know if you can tell a difference, right? It's just, yeah, I got a nice little bump from pulling that stupid handle up, and when it finally freaking gave free, my arm hit, like I was doing this right here, right? And the trailer's like this, and my arm came up and hit really hard. But I got a nice little, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's a nice little red line right here. Freaking lighting in here is terrible. That light, well, whatever. There's a red line on my arm. there's a nice little bump. It doesn't really hurt unless I touch it. So, and even then it barely hurts. So it ain't nothing. But lesson learned. I need to get some bungee cords. That way, I will just hook up the bungee cords to hold the handle up, and then go around and tap on the pins to get them to go in, rather than freaking hurting my arm. I think I'm gonna get me a bigger hammer to carry with me, because that little hammer kind of sucks at getting those things knocked in there. I need something more like a 2-pound little sledge where I can just be like bang, hit it maybe 1 or 2 times, instead of like hitting it, just beating on it, trying to get it to move. So anyways, I stayed in the truck last night because it took forever, and then I took the trailer over to the trailer shop, had them check out the brakes on it, because I felt like the brakes were out of adjustment a little bit. Thought just have them adjust them. I'd done a pump down and it didn't adjust, and they tagged it out. Apparently it's not adjusting or something, so they're going to work on it today before it heads out. It may have already went into the shop overnight, I don't know. So they just had me go drop it on row 5 to get worked on. And then I took paperwork in, parked the truck, then took paperwork in. I got back out here to the truck to grab my stuff and go hop in my pickup. It was well after midnight, and I was just like, I'm just gonna lay down and go to bed right here and just get up and go home in the morning, because my next load isn't till tomorrow, leaving out of here, and I may end up with a trainee. I don't know. I don't know if they're holding off on that till after Christmas. Who knows, right? They may have all their students paired up already. I have no idea. They might have sent them home for Christmas, because there's not going to be nobody probably around here around Christmas. I mean, there'll be people here, this 24-hour operation, but it will definitely be like a skeleton crew around here for Christmas. So everyone does, that's a major holiday, but there are drivers still out there on Christmas, so the company still has to operate. But yeah, I stayed in the truck. I was like, I'm pretty beat, you know. I didn't want to drive home. I was like, I'll just sleep in the truck. I shut it off. It wasn't like terribly cold or nothing, so just curled up underneath the sleeping bag here, went to bed. Woke up this morning and here I am. I'm pretty tired right now. I need to go get me some coffee, get my boots on. I probably should tidy up the truck a little bit. I think it's probably about time for me to take my pillowcase home and wash that. It's been a few months since I washed it. Some people be like, damn, a few months? You don't mean a few weeks? I don't know. It doesn't get dirty, really. I mean, it does. I guess oils from my skin or whatever, but I only sleep in the truck like 3 nights a week. So, yeah, and normally I would have slept in the truck tonight on my normal schedule, but I just did a Kansas City run and was able to make it back. I should have made it back earlier, but things happen, right? And that's to be expected. Not every day is going to be a perfect day out there trucking. You know, if they put somebody on that run as a dedicated run every day, they would probably be back here most every single day. Like, they would know that shipper, you know, that you can't take a D-deck trailer to that shipper. And I questioned it, you know, but I didn't see the fine print where it says that. It wasn't in, like, when it says the shipper whatever, like, you read all the information, it's not in that part. It's like you have to click, like, you got to go click on info and go in and read and read and read. Like, it's not an automated, like, come up like it should. There's actually a screen where that's supposed to be, and it wasn't there. I got to the shipper, and then I read it popped up when I got there. That's when it popped up, and I read it and I was like, at that point it's like, make sure you inspect the trailer and make sure none of the cross members of the floor are bent, because if they are, if more than one is bent or something like that, then they'll reject the trailer. If the floor's not good, they'll reject the trailer. If it's a double deck trailer, they'll reject the trailer. I'm like, nice. And I have a freaking double deck trailer. It's like, I'm already checked in, now what? I went ahead and went back there. I was like, maybe they're talking about a different trailer. Like, I'm trying to fool myself. I don't know why. And he comes and he looks at it and he goes, is this your first time here? I'm like, yup. Like, I'm playing the total noob at this moment. I'm like, crap. He checks it out and he's like, yeah, we can't load that trailer. Like, he goes, is this your first time? Like, my first time here, yeah. And he goes, well, that should have been on your tablet. And I'm like, yeah. But it wasn't until I got here. I mean, it was there somewhere, but it didn't pop up for me to read it until I arrived. I mean, it really made no difference. I would have had to went from Home Depot, from this side of Kansas City, or actually Topeka, right, way over here. I would have had to go back over here to Kansas City, and over here, way up here on this side of Kansas City, to swap trailers, and then and down. So all it really changed was I went over here to the Kansas City, down, and then back up, and so it would have just changed that few miles right there. Not a huge deal. It is what it is. That's trucking, you know. That's simply it right there. That's trucking. Welcome to trucking. So that's what I was doing with my live stream yesterday. Just basically showing people what it's like to be a truck driver. And I feel like yesterday, those few live streams, including the early morning live stream where I was halfway to work and CFI called me and said, hey, we had a bunch of loads cancel. We don't have one for you going to Seagoville today. I'm like, oh, what do you got? You got something else? And he's like, it's not looking good. And so I was like, all right, thanks. Basically, at that point, it's like, okay, I'm switching gears here. I'm going back home. So I stopped by McDonald's. I grabbed breakfast. I go home. I start a live stream. They call me during the live stream. That is a very accurate, real, like, you could expect that not every day, but once in a while, that's going to happen in trucking. And like, you'll have new people get into trucking and they have this idea that trucking is this glamorous thing, which there is some of that to it, but like, and I'm not trying to dog Riding with Jay. I watch his channel. He does a great job. He's giving you guys a perspective of what it's like to be a rookie driver. I'm kind of giving you a perspective of what it's like to be an experienced driver. So, you know, you can watch his videos and be like, okay, this is a rookie driver, and these are his experiences and his struggles and stuff. And then you see my struggles and how a lot of my struggles, like if it was Jay, it might have been maybe a little more difficult, you know, more of a learning curve for him rather than me, because I've been through it many, many times over, right? And I'm able, like, you know, knowing Kansas City, which, I mean, he knows Kansas City. He's from up around there, but, you know, it might have been a little more of an issue for him in different aspects or whatever, but, or anyone else, right? It's not just Jay and you know, necessarily, but I'm just saying, well, I'm using Jay as an example because, you know, he is new to trucking, you know, in comparison to me that's been doing this for 20 some odd years, right? So I don't know, that's why I like his channel, and hopefully he will start maybe doing live streams, just set the phone up there and a mount on the dash, whatnot, and show the reality of what it is to be a truck driver and what it's like to drive for CFI. CFI is, in my opinion, one of the best. Okay, they may not be the best company, but they are top of the line. They are very, you know, they try to be really good to their drivers and everything. They, you know, they work hard to do their job. They're people just like us. And they strive to be the best, okay? And I can truly say, I feel like, you know, we can kind of say, you know, we do the same job that many other companies out there do. We do the same thing. We just do it better, all right? We train our drivers better than any other company out there that trains drivers. You know, we get drivers from truck driving schools and we bring them in, we train them even more to hone their skills, make them a better driver, make them one of the best, and, you know, basically in hopes that they will stay here and help build this company. Unfortunately, a lot of them leave and go to other companies because a lot of these other companies, they make promises. They make these empty promises. They're like, oh, we're going to give you 50 cents a mile. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. And you know what? It's just like one side of the government. I'm trying not to be political here. That where they say, oh, we're going to give you a phone and this and that, you know, yeah. There's those companies that do that just to get you in the door, put you in a truck, get you out there. And then, you know, they don't have the manpower to keep you busy. They don't have the freight to keep you busy. You know, you're sitting all the time, or you're in bad areas and they just don't give a crap, you know. I'm not saying some of that won't happen being at CFI, right? but it's definitely kept to a minimum. And the problem is with like new guys, they just don't know how good they have it here until they leave. And when they leave, then they're kind of stuck wherever they go because, you know, they broke contract with CFI or whatnot, and they go to another company, and then that company's like, oh yeah, we'll pay for your stuff, blah blah blah, and then you're in debt even more because going through more training, and you're not making maybe that full 50 cents they said. You know, sometimes it's a trap. You know, they get you in, and I've heard it from quite a few of my students here. I am a driver finisher here at CFI, and I've heard it from a lot of my students that some of their friends that left CFI went somewhere else, and then they wanted to come back and they couldn't, and then some of them did come back, and when they come back it's a major struggle because like then they end up having to go through training again because they don't have that experience to back up their CDL. You know, a CDL is a CDL, right? Doesn't mean you can get a job anywhere. Your experience and your record is what helps you get a job anywhere you want to go. So for those of you out there, new guys, getting into the industry, getting your CDL, maybe coming on with CFI, you know, think about that. The grass is not greener on the other side. I'm telling you, I know this. I'm not, you know, CFI doesn't pay me to say these things. I'm not like a gung-ho kind of, you know, CFI guy or whatever. You guys will know that if you know me. But I will tell you, I honestly, you know, why am I here? Because CFI does it better. You know, I've worked for a lot of different companies, and, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I work here. You know, they take care of their equipment. Something's wrong with it, you take it in, you get it fixed, right? Sure, there could be downtime with that. It is what it is. That's trucking, right? But when you start hearing from your buddies like, oh, why don't you come over here? I'm going to Swift, or I'm going to this company, I'm going to that company. They're paying this, they're paying that. That doesn't make it better. There's so many more aspects, you know, to trucking. You know, like last night was kind of a bad example. That was an older crappy trailer that they'll be getting rid of pretty soon. That I did that to my arm. Most of our newer trailers have the pull the pull arm system on it that keeps you from hitting your arm on the bottom of the trailer like that. So they're phasing those out right now. We're getting a lot of new trailers in right now. So if you're wanting to come on over here at CFI, that's another incentive. We got a lot of new trucks, we got a lot of new trailers. My truck is not like brand new or nothing, but it is definitely low mileage. It's 150 something thousand. It's under 160,000. So that's really low mileage. This truck will probably be traded in at 400 and something thousand. So anyways, yeah, I stayed the night here in the truck. Probably was the best deal. But now I need to open up the curtain, and I need to go get me some coffee, grab my stuff, throw in the truck. I'll probably just go grab breakfast. Probably won't even get coffee here. Probably just go get breakfast, McDonald's or something, and then head home. And Ellie, I see what you did last night. I see what you did. I see my PayPal last night, but thank you. That's awesome. You didn't need to do that, but that's awesome. Thank you. She sent me $20 and said, it's been a long day. Have dinner on me. I appreciate you. And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate you too, Ellie. It's a rough life out here, I'm telling you. And putting it on YouTube is also, it's rough. To put your life out there on YouTube is not easy. I guess I could probably say like Jason Crocker's kind of like a mentor to me. He may not think that or whatever, but that's how I feel about it. And to see some of the struggles and stuff that he goes through. I just hope I can dodge some of those dodgeballs that he's been hit by, so to speak. But anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day. If I don't have a trainee on Thursday, then you know me, I'll probably be doing a live. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Have a great day.